Welcome back to Two Daddies Judging Baddies.
Judging baddies.
Where we read internet stories, then we judge people.
Profusely.
Profusely. That is, we judge them hard and we judge them long.
And often.
The cool part about this episode is that, so we started doing the bonus episodes beforehand, so I could tell you guys later in the episode what the bonus episode looks like. Greatest bonus episode ever.
It's not why we did it, but we did it, and it was a good move.
Yeah, now we're going to start doing that from now on. It was at actually the top of our saved list, the stories we gather that we like. It was submitted by Aloe, which, shout out Aloe, gave us a banger. It is about a coworker that has been writing pretty much a journal, documenting everything this lady does, and then gave it to her on her last day of work. It is very weird. Obviously, we bring a little Gabriel into the bonus episode, but it is very, very nice. Today's episode, however, is going to start off with someone I thought was a friend slid into my DMs. But before we do that, of course, let's get into this intro.
Two daddies, judging baddies.
Bam, there it is.
And I don't have to go back and edit it. This is amazing.
It's saving us so much time. It is saving so much time. Someone I thought was a friend slid into my husband's DMs. Why is it not popping up for me? Okay, there we go. And since I hate confrontation, I didn't do anything about it. My husband told me right away. He showed me the messages. It started out friendly enough. Then she got weird and very polite. Oh, and he very polite but firmly turned her down. She was incredulous. When I first found out, my initial reaction was, bitch, please. Mostly because I'm very secure in my relationship. We have a very happy home. Another reason is because I felt bad for her. Her husband is abusive and, quite frankly, a pretty shitty human being. That is crazy that you're like, ooh, I'm going to emotionally cheat on this abusive guy, so then he'll kill me. It's a strategy. Probably not a good one.
Well, it's birds of a feather flock together. She's a shit, he's a shit. They belong together.
Yeah, it's match made in heaven. Honestly, if you think about it, it's kind of cute.
So sweet. Hallmark will have a movie out on it later this year.
What would we call that? What would Hallmark call a movie about an abusive husband and a woman that likes to talk to other wives' husbands?
The Long Road to Faith.
No, they wouldn't call it.
They're going to get back together. They're going to fix their problems because
They'd call it hard-hitting love or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Hard-hitting love. There you go. I grew up in a domestic violence home. I sympathize. But you know what? Despite that, what she has going on, I don't think I deserve to have her to try to interject her brand of chaos into my orbit. I'm leaving it alone. But fuck you, Kate. You horse-faced skank. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You and your horrid gnome of a husband deserve each other. Anyways, post-workout shake and supplements since we have to keep fit and strong around here, in case I need to fight some horse-faced home-wrecking wannabe, apparently.
So this was in the subreddit Girl Dinner Diaries, which it shows a picture of her premier protein shake and then her supplements is what she's having for her girl dinner. I didn't realize girl dinners were a thing until my wife, and she calls whenever she gets a big, huge plate of snacks, she's having a girl dinner.
I've never heard that before in my life.
But she'll do that all the time. She'll get pickles, cheese, olives, all these random things, and she's like, that's my dinner.
Dylan, you've added some new ones, and I'm looking at these titles, and
we're not done with this one yet.
I know, but still, I clicked off of it because we do the unsave and then refresh, and I'm just hit with
great titles. All right, I'm going to read a controversial comment from this one. It says, I'm going to complain online instead of dealing with my problems. Nah, dog, it's okay. She's not.
There's nothing to deal with it. The husband blocks her. End of discussion.
It was a great marriage. He's like, hey, this bitch is texting me. And I told her, stop texting me.
That's it.
Handled.
Yeah, there you go.
Does she need to go fight her?
I can't stand people on Reddit. Where's the divorce one at? Y'all need to get a divorce because he didn't tell her off, and that's a big red flag, and he's gaslighting you. And
so because I just went for straight controversial, I fully agree that she shouldn't be trying to mess with your man, in parentheses, and I'm sorry that happened. But saying that she and her husband deserve each other when her husband happens to be abusive is crazy to me. I don't know. I don't think anyone deserves that.
Just because bad things are happening to you does not negate if you're a bad person or not.
Yeah.
It's a fucking newsflash. Newsflash. What if, like, when everybody was like, oh, Hillary Clinton murdered Jeffrey Epstein, was people like, damn, man, like,
She shouldn't have
but
killed
he got
him.
murdered. No, he was trafficking children.
She shouldn't have killed him, though. And murder is never okay.
I want to know what really happened there, though. If I could only be the undeleted footage of CCTV,
So you could watch him get snuck out and like not
still be
dead.
alive. That's the.
I guarantee.
I hate conspiracy
I
theories.
guarantee he's there.
If he's a billionaire fucking sex trafficker with all these, do you think he got killed?
Yeah. No, he took himself out.
But in the grand scheme of things, if you are a real conspiracy theorist, Hillary Clinton is not a power player. She's merely a puppet. He got killed by one of the puppets.
Yeah.
You think that's what
What is
happened?
that? What somebody's theory is that Hillary took him out?
Yeah, that was
I
the
know.
big thing. Hillary Clinton killed him.
No, I think he just made his way out. Like he's not.
That's
dead.
why that's what started the whole Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Republicans
they
were
thought
saying that
Hillary
because they
killed-
said Hillary did it. And look, Bill Clinton was on that island, all right. But so was Donald Trump. Like, and
No. There's
here's
no,
the thing, man. Like, it doesn't matter if they're Republican or Democrat. If they were on the island, they can all go on the pyre. Stop defending people that need to go on the pyre.
So, in that same vein, though, somebody down below says, I'm in disbelief that hardly anybody is calling this out. Post was totally fine until she literally wished
Fat
continued domestic violence on this
Oh, I
woman.
thought that she would have a problem with the fat shaming.
No, she's mad because, like, I'm sorry, but, like, if you're married and you are with somebody that is...
I only assume that's how they met.
But they should, like, if she needs to leave, she needs to leave. But, like, you're...
Imagine though. And look, domestic violence is not okay. I'm going to go ahead
No,
and say
it's
that
not.
into the camera. But now Michael's going to go into a joke where y'all are going to get mad regardless because it's a bad joke. If you are a woman, okay, and you're in a relationship and you see two other people in a relationship and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm going to cheat on this person and then start a relationship with that person. And then you get your ass whooped. It's the path you went down.
It's almost like you could see it. It was foretold before that this was going to happen.
Right, yeah. Like he's telling all these stories about, I hate how this bitch is always falling on doorknobs and shit. Like, and you just didn't put two and two together. You're like, oh, well, you don't need to be with a clumsy person. Be with me. And then you're like, fuck, he's just because someone does something bad, spousal abuse is terrible, does not negate you being also a bad person. Because look, I can understand you wanting to get out of that relationship. I can't understand that. And the only reason I actually am very, I don't want to say like apropos or like, you know what I'm saying, like sketchy wary or anything like that. Like I don't have feelings for it or something. The only reason I'm like, is because she's actively trying to cheat on the person. So you make them seem like the world's worst. He beats on me and shit like that. And
Yeah.
I'm scared of him. Like you're going to say that if you're trying to
Woo a hero.
because you're trying to make him seem bad. Like you're trying to make the other person comfortable with your cheating and shit like that. So
Well, and you're also trying to make this person feel like they need to save you. You want that hero complex.
Right,
So,
so-
you...
her making those, like, you getting your ass beat, that's an okay joke to have because, A, it's probably not happening, okay? She's probably just a shit person.
Well,
And
B,
then,
if she needs to leave, she just needs to leave.
yeah,
Like,
because
that's-
any real victim of domestic violence, if they're with a crazy dude that's going to kill them, they wouldn't have the opportunity to be talking to somebody else's husband. So, and it does take away from, like, people in real domestic violence situations like that where they're fearing for their lives. A woman who fears for her life, I've actually been in this scenario where she was like, you know, he beats me a lot. And then we're all at a fucking celebration station. And she's like, yeah, so if they ask, we were hanging out. And I was like, why? And I'm sitting there being clueless. And then they're like, one of the friends is like, you're not that dumb, are you? And I was like, oh, so you're saying the guy that you think is going to kill you, you're going to go cheat on him for a couple hours and then go play happy couple again. Even though, I don't know. And I'm still friends on Facebook with the guy to this day. Because if we're friends on Facebook, I'm just not going to ever defriend you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just unfollow you. But.
Right. But I mean, the woman that he's been with since her, I mean, they're always like posting happy. I'm like, if she's a victim of DV, like she is the greatest at hiding it because she's like, it's not even those posts where you're like, oh, this feels forced. It's just like happy doting shit like that. It's them on like vacations and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't know. I think that
Maybe that was a lie.
maybe that was a lie. So I would play ball on, because then they were like, well, we didn't like how you looked at her, and because I was just like, oh, you nasty bitch. Like I was really looking at her.
You're
like
gonna
that.
cheat on somebody, yes. You
Right. And they're like, well, Michael, and when you were younger, yeah, when I was younger.
Yeah, not married, not have kids, not have a full,
Right.
like,
Understand.
adult
I got
relationship.
Yeah. I was starting to be a dad at 19 years old. Everything that happened before then, I was younger than 19 years old. We're not talking about, late 20s doing this, because they're all older than me. Because my wife's 4 years older than me. So they're all older than me. They're like 30s and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, maybe it's time to, if you're really in this type of situation, leave. And then,
Yeah.
Because she was like, another thing too, that was like, I don't think you're a victim of domestic violence. Because she's like telling us this, and they're like, oh yeah, it's all like well known, and like her family knows and stuff like that. They had a Super Bowl party, like, a month later, and her dad and him were fucking broing out, and I'm like, what, did they beat on her together? Like, what is happening? Fuck, like, we're not taking away anything from, I know some people in like domestic violence situations, and I've seen it before. I come from a household where there was domestic violence, have to play happy couple. Like, they have to play happy couple. But a lot of the times you can tell like the forced shit versus like, when it's not forced, when like people are happy to be together, and they seem like, down to earth people. And I hung out with this guy, and yeah, he was very passionate about football. That's the only time I saw him mad, angry, anything like that. And the Carolina Panthers are losing. He's rooting for them. And he's just like, well, there's always next year. I'm just like, I couldn't see it.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, I mean, you can't just fully believe any of these. You have to see something.
If you're coming from a bad place, I can't believe you. Like, if you're saying, hey, you need to be down with this because I'm going to go cheat on this man.
Yeah, that's not the place to be like, because he beats me. Like, no, you don't get a leave and then get safe.
If he was punching her and shit like that.
Is it after she sucks a dick?
Right. I don't.
Like, did she cheat and then he punched her? Not that it makes it right.
Someone else doing something worse than, and I do view like beating a woman.
Yes,
worse than cheating.
He should leave too.
Right.
Like, they should leave and not be together.
But it doesn't negate that you're doing shitty shit. Like, and I'm sitting there, I'm just like, well, I'm not going to talk to nobody because I'm not going to fucking lie. I'm not going to sit there and be like, yeah, bro, she was hanging out with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then you put yourself in the middle of something that you
fuck
don't
that.
belong being in the
Fuck
middle
that.
of.
I'm like, we're adults too, man. And I did like have to have a talk with my wife. I'm like, hey, like, we're fucking adults. That's a situation like we should not be. That's just a corny situation to be in. Yeah. Which, to my wife's credit, she was not
on board either.
She was not close friends with that girl though.
Yeah.
The other friend, her other friend, was close friends with that girl. So,
it's like that one skit we did from the one story where it was the wife that had cancer and survived it, and her friends are like, give her this one night.
I was like, and at a celebration station too was the wildest thing because I just
were they gonna fuck at the celebration station?
No.
She was gonna dip out.
When we left, she was gonna leave and then go, but they were gonna say she was going with us. And man, it's just like, ew, I don't want to be a part of this. And also when I was, sleeping around in my youth too, I mean, I was pretty upfront that this is not going to be anything. I did, before I met my wife, I did have someone who I had claimed to be serious with and stuff like that. And that is something to this day that, I'm still, not cool with me doing.
Well, you were a dumb kid. Like, dumb kids.
And I was like fucking homeless. Like, in different parts of the week, I was living in different cities. Like,
and drugs. And, like, and not that any of it makes what you did okay, but you were dumb. You were a kid. There's a lot of extenuating it doesn't make it okay, but there's a reason behind. Like, an excuse is trying to absolve yourself of the guilt.
Right.
A reason, and you fully take the guilt part, is fine. Like,
right.
I mean, it's fine to have, we do not always make the right decisions. It's impossible to, but it's did you do it out of malice and like only to hurt somebody, or were there reasons that made sense in your young brain that was not prepared to be in a serious relationship, blah, blah, blah. Like that, you still hurt somebody. Not cool. The reason behind it makes sense why you did the things that you did. Doesn't make it okay, but the reasons make sense.
Right.
Like, all right, let's get on to a lighter topic.
God, yeah, fucking.
Today I fucked up by hooking up with my professor's daughter.
There we go. That is.
And this is a 3-part series. I don't know exactly how this goes about, and I can't remember whether this was a submission from somebody or because it is getting convoluted now that we have the pads, because if somebody submits a Reddit story, I can't then, if they submitted it on our Reddit, we could then tell who it was. But
Right.
I think this one was a submission, though. All right. I'm a typical university student just trying to get through finals week. Tonight, after a very stressful day of exams and studying for my ancient literature class, I decided to casually scroll on Tinder. It had been a while, and I just needed to de-stress. Little did I know this would cause me more stress than I could have possibly imagined. I swiped right on a girl who was less than a mile away. She was 25, a little older than me, but she was super hot and she seemed into me. So I went with it. She invited me over to her apartment and she said that she had to go in 20 minutes, so make it fast. Okay, let's do it.
Say less.
I've done it in less than 20 minutes before. I mean, that's normal, but all right. Needless to say, we got straight to business, but about 3 minutes after we began, we heard the front door open.
I'd already been done. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, 3
I'd have
minutes.
been dressed. Yeah.
I would have been out the front door and met whoever that was.
Right.
All right. She told me to stop, so I stopped and we listened. The footsteps came in our direction, and I got pretty scared. I expected it would be like when my parents caught me a few years ago with my ex, and it would be embarrassment all around. Not at all. The ancient literature professor, who I absolutely despise and whose test I was frantically studying for, walked into the room and froze. He saw her, gasped, and then saw my face. His face turned red, and he screamed, "Get the fuck out of my house!" Yeah, that seems pretty solid. I'm pretty sure I lost some of my hearing from how loud he yelled. Anyways, I put my shorts on and ran back to my quad. Now, as I lie in bed, all I can think about is how my college professor saw me naked. Not just naked, but raw dogging his daughter. You didn't slip a condom on there?
Right. Come on, bud. You're fucking met on Tinder.
All right, without any clothes at all. He already didn't like me, and he is a very tough grader. So I already know that I'm going to absolutely bomb this final and destroy my GPA. I see him tomorrow at 11 a.m. Wish me luck, and I'll update with what happens. Final failure, daughter railer.
I saw that as the top comment. That was great. That was great. Now, I understand she's 25 because people will be like, get the fuck out of my house. She's 25. I mean, it's still his house, though. That's still his motherfucking domain.
Yeah.
And now all he knows is someone he probably does not like in class is
dicking his daughter.
Dicking his daughter down. God.
All
Poor
right,
professor.
So I went to the controversial comments. Deleted. Professor, here's my paper. I'm just going to slide it in. Real gentle like. Oh, that's a tight fit. Maybe if I spread these other papers a little bit, it'll go in more easily.
How's this controversial?
Yep, that did. Right up inside that stack. You have a good one, sir.
Oh, I got to spit on it.
That is great. How is that a controversial? Like, did people downvote that one? That one's
Yes.
fantastic.
Professor's in there. Professor and his buddies are in there downvoting that fucking comment. Oh, man.
All right. You gonna read the next in the
Looks like you
trilogy?
saved that one twice.
No, the other one is it's an update.
Oh, it's the update?
Yeah.
We'll read the update. Yeah.
All right. So today I fucked up. Update. I cuckolded my professor. You guys wanted an update, so here it is. Over the last couple hours, I've gone from being terrified of possibly getting sued to possibly becoming a school legend. Unfortunately, a few of my friends found my Reddit post, and because of the class name and my professor being absent, they know exactly what happened. Anyways, here's the update. Right after making the last post, I got an email saying that the meeting had been changed. Everyone involved was supposed to meet a little later in a noise-proof room because I feel like we're missing something. Because this one's talking about a meeting. All right. Either way. because they didn't want anyone to hear or get involved. Anyways, we met at around 2:30, and the professor and the dean of academic affairs sat across from me. Like many of you predicted, his wife, the person who I know was the daughter. Oh, it was the professor's wife. Like many of you predicted, his wife, the person who I now know was the, quote, daughter that I hooked up with, walked in with a ring this time. Luckily, she and the professor didn't try to make any claims like assault or malicious intent. Surprisingly, the meeting was pretty quiet and simple. 2 other professors would evaluate the class exams instead of the professor to ensure fairness. Under the student handbook, the professor, if they have any issue with a student, is required to submit all of my previous exams, class materials to the administration for evaluation. Probably obvious, but the scheduling office will put me into another professor's class next semester. I know that the meeting went as well as it could, but my situation is far from perfect because my friends found the posts and have told a large portion of our friend group. Damn casual Tinder hookups. Too long didn't read. I cuckolded my professor. Got off easy because of administrative intervention. Now my friends know about what happened and will likely spread it.
What was the title of that one?
Today I fucked up. I cuckolded my professor.
So you didn't read the update, because there was an update to hooking up with.
There's 2 updates. So that was the first one, and I think I put them in the right order, but maybe not.
No, I don't think they were in the right order.
Oh,
So that's why that one didn't make.
oh okay.
Yeah.
So we got the end of the story already.
Yeah. So let's not even do the middle. It'll be fine. The middle, I mean, we pretty much got a gist of the middle. There was a meeting we didn't know about, but fuck it. Fuck it, we ball.
Let's go ahead and read it.
No, you just do it. Yeah, because then spare us from the, oh my God, I wish you would have read that comment.
There's details in here that do kind of make sense. Short update, because I have taken the exam, but I still don't know what's going on. I'm going to start out all the personal info because this blew up a lot more than I wanted it to. And I'd rather not turn this into a school-wide scandal. I shuffled into class, praying that my life wasn't about to be ruined by this professor. Thankfully, the TA came into the room and said, due to a family emergency, Professor Blank will not be proctoring today's exam. He will email you back with your graded exam by the end of Saturday. Right after the TA said this, she started handing out the tests. When she came to me, she gave me this look and laughed before giving me the exam. I thought, great, now the administration probably knows. Anyways, I took the test, and actually, I think I did pretty well. As soon as I got out of the room, I checked my email. It's a habit. And Professor Blank had emailed me. Below is the email without the names.
Fuck yeah, okay. So I'm glad we did this one.
Blank. Please meet my wife, myself, and the Dean of Academic Affairs in room blank in the blank building tomorrow at 1 p.m. There we will discuss our situation and how to proceed. Thank you in advance for your understanding and cooperation. Best, Professor Blank.
Damn, so the professor was just like, yeah, I have a situation I can't have him in my classroom because he banged my wife.
Dude, it's wild though. Like, homegirl's saying she's 25. How, like, this professor has to be older. Is his wife one of his former students?
Ooh, probably.
So she's young, and now she's getting dicked down by, like, every frat guy in the college. She's like, this is the best place to be.
Look, the professor is, well, I'm not going to say he's innocent in this because it does sound kind of sketch if he's with a 25-year-old girl. I'm immediately just jump on the predator end there. He was in some kind of position of power over her. Honestly, the only real innocent person in this is OP.
The student, yeah. No, I mean,
all he did was have sex with a 25-year-old he met on Tinder.
Hot chick.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think. First of all, I didn't do anything wrong. I have no idea why his wife is getting involved. We know.
We know. We know. But she likes getting involved. Yeah. She loves it.
But there was verbal and written consent, and if I need to, I can use the Tinder DM history to prove it. Also, his daughter has an IUD, so there's no way that this is going to turn into a pregnancy. Yeah, and like, you didn't come. Supposedly, like, they interrupted mid-coitus.
3 minutes in, yeah. He's like, already came twice.
I was going for round 3.
Yeah.
The main thing I'm worried about is how this will affect my relationship with my professors and the administration. I guess I'll update again tomorrow after the meeting. Too long, didn't read. Edit. Okay, after reading comments about it possibly being his wife, his reaction in the meeting makes a lot of sense, and she never said anything about her and his relationship. However, I still very much hope that's not what happened, and I just terrified him at the thought of being his future son-in-law. Damn, that's great though.
Yeah.
Imagine what, like, so you're the student, you're banging this hot chick. You think it's when you see the professor, you're like, ah, this is his daughter. But like the minute you find out it's his wife, you're like, haha, fucker. Because he was an asshole to the kid.
Right,
Like
yeah.
he's an asshole professor. But like you banged his wife.
My life is over.
All right, let's go with one controversial from this one. Let's see what we got. Deleted. Fuck you guys. He wants to personally apologize for making your life difficult and that he wishes instead of fucking his daughter as a means of revenge that you should have fucked him instead. Yeah, that's a dumb.
Yeah, some of the look, you live by the controversial comments, you die by the controversial comments.
Oh man, I need some more popcorn for this. That's not controversial either.
Yeah, what is this? Wow, a guy had his life ruined. I hate dudes that comment on things in general because, like on Facebook, take Facebook for instance. It's like, my wife's on vacation. She sent me this really cute photo or something like that, and then guys underneath is like, oh, yeah, she probably got railed out for that. And then you look at their profiles and it's just them single, and it's like, okay, dude, you live the dudes live in a porn world.
Yeah,
they just think everybody and everything is motivated.
Well, the dudes
by sex.
that aren't actually getting.
Yeah, they live in a porn world.
So this is a good one though. It's hilarious that this should be a controversial comment. It says, "Bring a lawyer, or at the very minimum, contact your academic advisor. Tell them everything, and get them to that meeting. No one in that meeting right now has your back. It's worth doing so to keep you from getting expelled or worse. You can't get expelled for banging the fucking professor's daughter or wife or anything. No."
That's up there with the just get divorced. You gotta get divorced because everything's so bad. So the story I picked is my 24 female boyfriend, 26 male, found a secret of mine and won't leave me alone because of it. He has discovered a secret about her.
Find your OnlyFans?
Yeah, that's another thing too, because like if your OnlyFans is like solo stuff. It's like, wow, dude, she does. It's like, yeah. Thousands of guys want to have sex with her, and I have sex with her.
I guess it's whether you know or not. Like that, if it's a secret.
Oh yeah. Like if you're like 3 years into this, and it's like you come home one day and she's just like, fucking camera, go on me. What are you doing? Let me get my money shot for OnlyFans. All right. I am a writer, a serious writer, who's got her first book published and a few poems that's made its way to the local paper. I make a list.
Trigger warning or
okay, yeah, we can do that because these aren't bad. Listeners of the Two Daddies Judging Baddies podcast, we have trigger warnings.
Trigger warnings.
If you are triggered by such things as misogyny,
guys are mean,
bullying,
mean people that aren't guys,
shaming,
people that make fun of you that might be guys,
and slut shaming.
Definitely guys that are making fun of you for having the coitus with other people, not me.
Turn this podcast off now or you will be triggered. It's so funny. It's called slut shaming though, because it's like, how dare you shame that slut over there? Because it's got shaming and slut shaming. You leave that poor innocent slut alone. Slut shaming. Can we not change that?
What do you mean? Just
like as people, as a collective, just change slut shaming. Jesus Christ.
Not slut shaming.
Yeah, so it's not slut shaming, that poor innocent slut over there. You just picking on her.
Blame that slut for just doing slutty things.
God. I'm a writer, a serious writer who got her first book published and a few poems made its way to the local paper. I make a living out of it. I also have a very secret blog that I used to publish fan fiction under a pseudonym. I know when we mention fan fiction, the first thing that comes into the mind is that I'm an obsessed fangirl who writes countless depictions of OCs and all of them are in love with an alter ego of myself and blah, 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 blah. No, I really just like exploring my favorite characters and the universe they live in. If I'm reading a book, playing a game, watching a movie, I sometimes think, what if? I write it out. It's been my secret for a long while now. It used to be. My boyfriend found my blog when I forgot to clear it out of my history on my laptop. Well, you are actively trying to hide something.
Yeah, her next sentence is, I don't hide stuff from him. Yes, you do.
Yeah, you're hiding it right now.
Who has to delete their history on their laptop?
It's just a habit I picked up since I was a child and hit that curious about porn phase. We had a family computer, and if I didn't clear the history, I'd get caught, so I'd always do this.
Incognito browser.
Right. That'd be crazy if I used a family computer and there's porn on it, because I'm immediately like, my son, I got to teach him about safety, and then I'm giving him a safety talk. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? And I'm like, the porn you were looking at. He's like, I wasn't looking at that.
Mom.
Yeah, right. Hey, babe. were you looking at porn on the computer? And she's like, no.
Not that I have a problem with
And
it.
I'm like, all right, well, you got to have a talk with our daughter. You do. This is going to you. He's been mocking me for it. I'm not fragile. I can take a mocking every now and then if I know it's not really malicious. My boyfriend, on the other hand, keeps laughing and making jokes about me being a Tumblr girl, about me wanting to be with those characters and so on. It's to the point he read a few and started nitpicking and making fun of some of it. This is not the reaction I got when I read those trigger warnings, though.
Well, and that's the thing, though, is like, he's just a shit. Like,
He's not a shit. He's just like kind of picking and teasing, probably because she hid it from him.
Her hiding, yeah, that's a problem. But like, if it's something that it's like if your wife just started picking and poking at you, saying that you're not that funny and blah blah blah, and like cutting
All the
down.
time. All the time does it.
Really?
Yeah, but I can handle it because it's my profession. Like,
Okay, if you made a movie and she just told you how shit it was, like I'm sorry, but like I don't think that as a partner you should cut down somebody in what, like my wife is an artist. Like I would never say anything bad about her art. I would tell her like what I like about it, but I wouldn't be like, oh, that's shit, and like that's, oh my God, you can't do that.
right.
Like I would not pick apart a passion of hers, because like ultimately that's where you are the most vulnerable. Like if
I wouldn't do it to her, but I mean, like her doing it to me is. Like I invite that kind of stuff. I like that kind of stuff. I like in a relationship to kind of just like her tease me about shit like that. It's doesn't affect me at all. Yeah, it gets me rock hard solid. Be on me, girl. I talked to him. He dismissed me. I finally snapped yesterday when he came over and I was writing. Honestly, you're a shit writer though, because you will not capitalize a fucking sentence to save your life. He said, writing your weird smut fanfiction fangirl. He meant it as a joke. He laughed, but I was really already so cranky that I told him to leave. He looked at me puzzled and said he was kidding, but I kicked him out. English is not my native language. I started learning English when I was 9 years old because there was no one to read fan fictions of a particular fandom I was into in my native language. Because of it, I discovered how much I love writing. Because of it, I learned English, and it saved my life when I needed a job, but was inexperienced in a lot of things. But man, I could speak and write English fluently. And all thanks to writing fan fiction. Ran off sentence. Are you a fucking...
English isn't their first language, Mike.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I can barely speak English. Look at me. I know me saying that is problematic, but I want you guys to know I am a problematic guy. So I'm a walking red flag. It means a lot to me. I'm not hurt that most people think it's silly and make fun of fan fiction writers. I'm hurt because the boy I love is being horrible about it, and I'm close to breaking up. I don't deserve to be mocked for something I like, especially when I don't judge him and the stuff he likes. He wants to come over, but he doesn't think he's wrong, and he doesn't see his behavior as hurting me. What do? I learned a long time ago not to be ashamed of doing something that brings me joy, especially when times are hard enough already, but it hurts so much to think my boyfriend thinks I'm a loser and I don't know what to do. I'm starting to see him differently. Some clarifications. I don't think my boyfriend was snooping. I always clear my history out of habit, and this time I left it there. It most likely came up in the search bar since he told me he just found it there. The problem is not my sense of humor. It's the fact that when I told him I wrote fanfics and came clean about it, I was laughing with him. Then mockery started, and for the next few days, I was a crazed fangirl in his eyes, and he wouldn't let it go. That is not having a sense of humor. That is someone I love being hurtful towards me on purpose, even though I told him to knock it off. I can kind of see that though. Like if we joked about it, giggled about it, that's fine. But she just like kept incessantly every time she talked to me, bring it up.
Well, and then if you say there's a line, okay, like, hey, it was funny and now it's not, and so like let's just drop this, let's stop. And once you put that line, if they keep going, then yeah, they're just being a dick.
Yeah. We're currently not talking. He thinks I'm being oversensitive, and I'm here reading your replies. I haven't let him come to my house yet and won't until I think of something to tell him. I already have something in my head thanks to you guys. This is the first time I see my boyfriend acting this way. I wouldn't be with him if he had been like this from the start. It's the first time, and it's probably why I'm shocked here. I'm hurt. Joke 2, fine. Straight up mean mockery? Nope. Okay, so update. I want to start this by clearing up some confusion. He and I have teased each other before. I teased my best friend and she teases me back. Stupid trash teasing. I still have some of my earliest fics in English, and my grammar was awful, really awful, with sentences like, and he tried to think not about her. I do that all the time still to this day.
What's that?
Like he tried to think not about her. So like with like justs and nots, I'll put them in the wrong place. Like he's just thinking about you, or he's thinking just about you. That's what I would put. So whatever. She throws that sentence back at me all the time, and it's always in good heart. And I was always like, oh, God, look at the shit you used to write and look at you now. This is not what happened with my significant other and I. He went out of his way to make me feel uncomfortable and hurt. This is why I came here for help. Because someone I love was being cruel out of nowhere. For the sake of this update, I need you guys to keep in mind that I'm in no way ashamed of writing fanfics and that my significant other's behavior was more strange than cruel. He had never acted that way before. So I met with him the other day so we could talk. He was pissed because I kicked him out. I was pissed because of his behavior. We went home and I just straight up asked why my fix bothered him so much. He kept saying it didn't, that he was just having fun and all, and I explained to him how he made me feel. He snorted. I told him that if he wasn't going to take this seriously, then he could leave and not come back. After a while, after a brief discussion about him being incredulous that I was so upset over nothing, he finally told me the reason behind his actions, that he doesn't feel comfortable with me writing sex scenes. This came out of nowhere. And even when this issue was discovered here, I was like, nah, he would never have a problem with it. He even praised the one in my book. Well, I asked him exactly that. Why did he praise one in my book? Why did he encourage me to write more of it? He said he hadn't stopped to think about the consequences that when I wrote in my book, he didn't know or see how people enjoyed it. When he read one of the ones in my blog, he could see how many people reblogged it. He could see the comments. He could see everything, and it bothered him because I was his girlfriend. Okay, I asked him what he meant by that, and he said that I was putting myself out there by writing this stuff. I held back the urge to snap and calmly asked him again what the hell he meant by that. He said he knew how guys think and that they were seeing how easy I was. What? And I'd soon be getting stalkers because, and I quote, I like sex and shit. Isn't that lovely?
Do people not understand that everybody likes sex? Like everybody likes sex. Like it's not a unique thing that people like sex. Like women like sex, guys like sex.
And also she's doing it in an anonymous way.
Words.
Yeah.
Words on a paper or like on a screen. They're not pictures of her talking about, oh, I want you to fuck me. Like it's literally just words on a piece of paper.
He quickly tried to fix it, to tell me that he didn't mean it like that. He meant that I write detailed and explicit scenes and it might give people the wrong idea. I asked if I give him the wrong ideas when we have sex and he just shut up. I think he realized how much of an idiot he was being because he started apologizing. I just ended it. I ended it and changed my blog's URL. He's been calling and calling, texting me nonstop that he's sorry, but I can't look at him the same way. Even if I ever forgive him, just know I like sex so that it makes me a shit, but that's not the problem when I'm having sex. Oh, slut. Why would you bleep that out? But that's not a problem when I'm having sex with him. I'm just heartbroken over this. I don't know. This came out of nowhere before breaking up. He said everything would be okay if I just never wrote about sex. I mean, really? No, I like it. I like writing about sex. I like writing fics. I like it. It pays my bills, so screw that. But in his mind, if I just stopped writing kiki sex scenes, then he wouldn't feel insecure and wouldn't lash out like this. I'm like, it's all right for fan fiction.
She says, I'm glad it came out, though. This side of him, still, this is just so freaking sad. Like, you didn't have to break up with him. You didn't. Like, that is something in a relationship that you could work through. Like,
right, yeah.
It is not a ender of.
Oh, no, in that comment section, though, you did good. Get away from him because he'll start abusing you and shit, and just good to break it off now. The thing is, too, is the reason that fanfic writers have such a stigma is because not a large portion of fanfic writers are good people. I'm saying that to the camera, too. Look, they're not. They write about, like, Zootopia and shit like that, kid shows and stuff. They're fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
They're fucking weirdos. So, yeah, when you partake in that, there is a weird, like, what the fuck kind of stigma going on about it that you, honestly, and I'm sorry for saying this, and this is just my opinion, and if you don't like my opinion, you ain't got to watch the show. But if you are just so enthralled by something, like, and your immediate thought is, I have to make fiction about them having sex and doing weird shit. That's a fucking weird point of view on life. That is just a weird point of view on life. If you watch something and you're just like, like 50 Shades of Grey, that is a Twilight just sex spinoff of,
yeah.
And I mean, that's, I guess, fucking to each their own, whatever. But if you can't, like, the weird part is, here's the weird part, is that it's a spinoff of it. Those are teenagers. You're watching a movie about teenagers, and you're like, I got to make fucking sexualized content about this. I have to do it. So yes, you all lumped into a weird fucking category because 99.9% of any time I'm exposed to shit like that against my will, whether it be like people talking about 50 Shades, which I just found out that was a fucking spinoff of Twilight. I thought it was its own standalone shit.
I mean, it is its own standalone shit, but like like we were talking about, I think in the bonus episode, like it's all formulaic. So it is like there's nothing. It's impossible to come up with a completely unique story. So
Right.
it is along the same lines. Like I don't know the exact connection.
When
of
I
the
hear like
two, but-
fanfic though, like I imagine like they're putting characters and shit into that.
See, and I don't go into like I've never watched or read a single fanfic of anything ever, so it's not my world. I think the craziest thing about this though is like I did not see the misogyny. I did not see the slut shaming. I did not see like he had a problem with it. He was uncomfortable with it. I'm not saying that he's okay, like that it's okay for him to get mad, and like I do not agree that he should be cutting her down and like treating her like shit over it. However, it seems like a very normal, like you all of a sudden figure out that your wife is writing smut online. You have the right to be like taken aback by it, and then you guys work through it however you work through it. But like
Right.
him having feelings on it doesn't make it invalid that he has feelings on it. Like the way that he handled it, not the best, but he's your partner. He should know kind of what you're doing. Like he should know you're a passionate writer for sex stuff.
Right.
Like he should be aware of that. You hid it from him and now it's a surprise to him. So he's allowed to have feelings on that, whether it's the sex or whatever.
He don't
but,
like me to talk about sex stuff unless it's sex with him. That's normal. That yeah. Imagine if you're a woman listening to this and you're like, imagine your husband just like, talking to another woman just about all the sexual stuff and just like, and just like sucking his cock. Like there would be words you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? I mean, she is writing that out to an audience. Now, this audience is not, what the boyfriend does have to understand is the audience is not sexualizing her for writing this.
Yeah.
It's the characters. Like they're into this story or whatever, and it's not a knock on her, but she's like, and it's not this, I hate how she's like, I started writing fanfic that's not the sexual stuff. And then it's like all sexual stuff. Everything I write is all sexual. It's just like, start with that, dude.
Well, and that's a conversation. Like if I found out my wife was doing that, I would definitely feel a certain way about that. And then like, what is going on? Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what you're hiding. Like, what else are you hiding from me? Because this is something that is a big part of your life that you've completely hidden away. And like, so there's a shame level of like, you're hiding it in the first place. So what else are you hiding in this other alternative version of you that I don't know about? Is there people in your DMs? And like, that's something that he doesn't know about.
Correct,
until it starts coming. And so, yeah, the trigger warnings of that were just wild though. Cause it's like, he's the problem. Well, yeah, he's maybe not doing it the healthiest way, but him having,
He should have just had a
feelings on this-
conversation. He instead went for the like picking and playing route. He should have just had like a serious conversation. Like, hey, this is kind of weird. Look, fucking, I don't give a fuck. Tear me down in the comments. I'm so goddamn tired of it. I come from the nerd community. Like something as harmless as Pokemon, animals, they sexualize. And I'm just like, you don't have to sexualize Pokemon.
Well, and you don't have to go view it. Like, I mean, that's part of it. Is like,
Oh,
to
no.
each their
You
own.
have. If you're in the nerd community, you don't get no fucking choice.
Well, that's
Playmats.
'cause there's a lot of people that like that.
Playmats, people talking about it, going to something as simple as like a Pokemon Reddit, and they're fucking posting pictures of a Vaporeon, which is like a dog. It's a water dog, and they're sexualizing a water dog. It's like, if you're in the nerd community, and it's so fucking annoying about being in the nerd community, is that you just get, it's like everything you know about the Kardashians. It's exposed against your will. The shit just comes, and you're just like, why? Why do people, because here's the thing too, it's not only people making the fanfic, but it's the people that are picking on the people making the fanfic that are posting the things that the people that made the fanfic made. And then we're collectively shitting on them. And I'm just like, we could just act like they don't exist. Put them in their own little corner of the fucking world, and it doesn't have to become a thing.
Let's go with the top controversial comment. I'm a bit confused. How can a professional writer not find the shift key on their keyboard? Not a single capital letter in the entire story.
Fucking thank you. I'm sorry. I don't.
And then somebody responded with, y'all can't truly comprehend that we might turn our brains off on social media, same as every other single person. Also, she literally says, English as their second language.
Except for how good she is in English, and she's fucking phenomenal and she uses it for
That's
jobs
all
and
the
stuff like that.
all the controversial. The next one is, for someone who makes a living off of writing, this post is a mess. It honestly makes it a hard time believing any of this. What's this deleted one?
It makes it hard to believe that she's a writer.
Yeah, everybody, all the controversial ones are like, oh my gosh, she can't write. Like these, no capital letters. If this person is a writer, then I'm an astronaut. Fucking can't read a word. That's so great. Yeah, but then there's all the people. I'm so glad she ditched him. Oh no, my girlfriend actually thinks about sex, and people know she thinks about sex. She doesn't just go around in a tin-plated sexless body when she's not with me.
It's all the
Barf.
fanfic lovers that are commenting on it. It's all the fucking people with goddamn tails and shit like that, sexualizing animals. I'm sorry. That shit, look, it fucking gets me going. Like, and I am going to say this, and I'm sorry, but I hate the sexualized, like, furry community and shit like that.
Should
because
be
they
in your
hurt.
own. It should be in your own world, and it should not come to non-sexualized spaces. So, like the actual Pokemon Reddit should never have any of that. If you
Ever.
want to go find that, like I don't have a problem as long as you aren't trying to get kids over there. You're not putting it in front of kids. Like if adults want to do weird shit with fucking Homer Simpson and Marge, go for it. Like imagine your own world. But the second that it comes out into normal society and people find it just through happenstance, you're making it a problem.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be out there. It should be in your own little community of the Simpsons sex scenes. If you want that, go over there and do that. But don't in the Simpsons Reddit then show, because like I've came across that, like just, you know, when you're on a porn site and it's like cartoons, it's like, why? There's like beautiful women that exist in this real world that I can then see them naked. Why do I want to see Marge Simpson or a fucking Pokemon with sexual parts? This does not make sense in my brain.
That's just the one thing I'll never get behind, like the furry community and shit like that, because animals procreate for the need of procreation. Like if you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm this dog and stuff like that, and I'm fucking somebody in a dog costume because that's what gets me off. If you were fucking a dog, that dog would be terrified and hurt, and it's a weird fucking thought process, because I think the reason that I hate them so much too is because they're so, for some reason, LGBTQ adjacent that like they get lumped in, and it then diminishes when anybody's trying to like fight for anything like that. And they're like, look at these weird fucking people dressed as barnyard animals, like going at it in a fucking barn. And it's like, yeah, that is weird, but also not a part of this thing. So, don't include this.
Anything that's outside of norm, like guy, girl, singular, that is then lumped into all the other category. I think it was on Joe Rogan. I was listening to it, or it might have been somewhere else. But they were saying how cool the world would be is if humans were the exact same way as like, you know, other animals, where they have like they're in heat and they can only breed during this time. So like, you know, 2 weeks. It was Joe Rogan, because they were talking about hunting, and like during the breeding season, like the guys go wild for like 2 weeks to a month, and then after that they're just like doe and buck are just hanging out, not giving a shit. And if we were like that, like imagine how much more productive society
would be. Yeah,
like you're not going out to the bar all the time to try and get laid. You're not on Tinder.
You're like, fuck, I should make this world a better place.
2 weeks out of the year, a month out of the year, you're just like, oh man, I really need some sex. And then you do it, and then you're like, okay.
Yep, I'm
Rest
done.
of the year, we just do productive shit.
I like this woman because she's a friend and we have a lot in common. That's it. Yep.
Come November, she's gonna get fucked.
Yeah, we're having sex for like a month, but then after that, it would make. But the only thing it would fuck up though is like during mating season, it's just like a bunch of kids in a gym just like trying to fend for themselves and shit like that.
But then on top of that, like imagine the hospitals when like
9 months from then,
seasons,
yeah,
like,
9
it's
months from then, it's like
hectic.
Prepare, guys, prepare.
I don't care if you've got a heart attack, you're not getting seen. We got 1 million babies to deliver. That was a good one.
Sorry for our community that I hate you so much, but no, it's going to continue.
It's understandable.
I mean, once like your weird shit is hitting the playground and there's kids actually thinking that. And I'm not the type of guy who's going to be like, they're putting litter boxes in schools and shit like that. I'm not going to do that. I understand when, you know, something's fake and when something's not. But when you go to a school and you see kids with fucking tails and shit like that, and you understand that a large portion of the adults who do that, sexualize that stuff. It's all so weird.
Well, and it should be if there was no connection at all, the kids play an imagination, fine, and then like adults wanting to do. But if there's any sort of connection where those two communities come together, that is where it's a huge problem.
We have to bring back bullying though, because if you bully these people, all right, you prevent that stuff from becoming just like a normal part of society. But also too, like I remember when if you were like, I fuck with Hitler, we'd be like, what? We got to bully the fuck out of you. So you got Nazis and werewolves now, when society should not have Nazis and werewolves, because we used to bully people, okay? We used to bully people, sometimes for the right reason. There was a lot of wrong reasons. Like there'd be a gay kid, y'all be bullying him for something he don't have any control over, okay? People be bullying him. That's fucked up, okay? But if you bully a Nazi and werewolves, okay, that's good. That's beautiful for society to be like, oh, that's weird. Let's all point and laugh and hope they don't shoot up the school. Because something's going on at home where your parents don't do any fucking research. I mean, I pray you don't shoot up the school, but whatever. God.
You want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, just do the true off my chest. And
All right, so true off my chest.
before we get into that, guys, if you want to see us shit on furries anymore, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Mike and Dylan. You get bonus episodes.
Bonus.
Where you might be able to see, you might get triggered. Triggered, yeah. The bonus episode we did for this week is
There was no triggering. We did good.
phenomenal. There was trigger warnings though.
There was trigger warning.
It needed trigger warnings.
Legitimate.
Yeah.
They actually made sense for the story.
The person was in danger. They didn't know it. They didn't know that they were in danger, but they were in danger.
All right, so this is from True Off My Chest. I got a vasectomy. Now I have a superpower.
Okay.
I, 33 male, got a vasectomy last year after having 3 children. My wife told me I had to LOL, oh man, was I scared shitless after watching 100 plus YouTube videos on the matter. That was a weird sentence. My wife told me I had to. That's the end of the sentence. Oh man, I was scared shitless after watching 100 plus YouTube videos on the matter.
Was that in
That's a second
parentheticals?
sentence. No, it was one sentence.
Oh, fuck.
Nonetheless,
They must be a writer.
yeah, they're a writer. There's capitalization, so they can't be
Not a writer, yeah. Nope.
Nonetheless, it wasn't necessarily the pain I was afraid of, but rather how it could affect your sex life. People complain of numbness or not being able to, quote, get off anymore, which makes me nervous. I did not hear any of those before and just so you know, no problems at all. Well, after a year and a shitty shirt from my wife, my new, quote, ability, so to speak, is that now I can come on command.
What?
That is a superpower. Whether that's a gift or a curse, I still can't put my thumb on it. It's no longer a matter of, quote, damn, that feels good, unquote. It's either the session is taking too long or my wife is, quote, spent and tells me to climax with her. Is this worth bitching about? I'm not saying I'm a stud now by no means, but sex isn't the same for me now. I feel like I've fallen under the notion of being numb, I guess. It's hard to explain. I jokingly told my buddies not to get the procedure, giving them my experience. They laughed and say they wish they had that ability. Anyone else here go through changes after the vasectomy? First comment is,
Well, let's
dude's a nut bender.
Right, yeah. That's why I was going to say, how hard can he shoot this stuff out? Because he could potentially be a superhero. Like Spider-Man has the webs. You know what I'm saying? Like you have nut. And honestly, if you're a bad guy, okay, and you're robbing a truck, and you're like, oh man, is that guy going to wrap me up in webs and the cop's going to get me? Versus, oh fuck, is that dude going to run by and nut on me? That's terrifying. That's dissuasion right there.
I'm sorry, but as a man, being able to choose when that happens is like the perfect situation. Like you don't have to end the session because it's feeling great. It's not like, whoa, hold up. It's just, oh, you're ready? Okay, let's go together.
Bam! Like, does it still feel good when he nuts though?
It has to. Like, he's just deciding when it happens. That sounds like the perfect thing. Like, you can go for as long or as short as you want to.
I'd be playing in the
like,
character too. I'd be like, listen, baby girl, you lay down. All right. I'll know exactly when this is over. And it's going to take as much time as you need.
Yeah.
Look at that. Bam. I'd be running the show, which I mean, I already do, but still.
But if there was no, like, because there are times where you're like, it's just not going to fucking happen. this time. Like, it's just not going to happen. And like, I don't want my wife to feel bad about it, but like, if you can do that on command, like,
Or there's sometimes when, because women, I'm sorry, y'all take a little bit of a step back, in the when marriage happens, but then when they get the wild hair up their ass to just be really seductive, and it's like, don't touch it. Don't touch it because it's going to be over.
Yeah.
Stop it.
We're only 3 minutes into this. Like, if you want this to be an experience that we both enjoyed,
I'm praying to God thinking of my grandma right now.
Hold up.
Right. I'm thinking of sad memories.
Yeah. No, I don't see how this is a bad thing in the slightest. Let's go to controversial, see if anybody's got. That's a weird one.
What? Read it.
I like to swallow more after. It's all the same, but tastes different. I'll eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
What?
I don't know where that one comes from. That is just a weird comment there. And then another controversial one is, if that's your one side effect you get from your form of birth control, you should be happy. Telling your buddies not to get it done when women go through 10 times worse on their forms of birth control is disappointing.
I think he's just being in jest.
Yeah.
Commenters like, oh, I see you're making a joke, but let's think of the real. And it's like, no, he's saying it as a joke. Shut the fuck up.
He actually wrote that he doesn't feel the sensation of sex. What do you mean worse? Irreparable, maybe. Not a pill you can stop taking, not a condom you can put off. I don't see how clipping your, whatever their vestibular tubes would cause sex to just not be, like, he still has to get hard. He still, like, and then he can shoot it out whenever he feels like. That doesn't sound like he's not feeling sex. Like, how did you lose all
When
pleasure?
I started losing my hair, I've never been affected by it. I'm not cared. But my wife is just like, like in Turkey, you can get that. And I was like, do you think I'm affected by my hair? And she's like, no, but I think it'll become like a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Guys don't like going bald. I'm like, I like aging. I like getting closer to the end. You know what I'm saying? I'm not affected by it.
The suspense is killing me.
Right. But I don't know. It's just like when someone says that and then you start thinking about it, you're like, oh, do I want to be bald or can I stop it? So I was like looking into it, and these guys were talking about this one supplement, and they were raving about it. It's called finasteride, okay? And I looked into it, and it was like, yeah, it has this effect where it destroys your testosterone, destroys it. Because when you go bald, male pattern baldness usually coincides with another form of testosterone that is really high. So it lowers that, but it can also lower the other testosterone, the good testosterone. Well, it doesn't lower it. It completely destroys it. You don't produce any more your body does not produce any more testosterone. You are unable to achieve erections and get depression and shit like that.
But you'd have hair.
Suicide rate comes up. So it was like, it happens in a very low population of men. So I'm like, okay, well, let me take to Reddit, because Reddit's where real people can kind of advertise stuff. And all of it was, hundreds of horror stories of these bald guys that were like, I tried it. My life was ruined. I fucking hate myself for trying this. And I take it a step further. I click on people's profiles. And you can see people going through their bald journey, happy to get it, immediately sad. And it was time and time again where I'm like, the numbers here are fucking skewed. Like, you're saying it happens in less than 1% of men. If I'm reading 1,000 stories, do I got to believe 1 billion people's taking this? Like, 1 billion people's taking this, so it's just, that's how you know it's in 1% of men. I was like, no, I think the side effects on this is more rampant than probably what they're saying. And then when I'm just like, you think of not being able to ever achieve an erection again, coupled with the fact that I was okay being bald, I'm like, well, fuck it. If 40-year-old Michael gets a little bit upset about this, he can get a toupee. That's it. He can get he can wear a wig, and that'll be him. He'll be wig guy.
Or shave it.
Yeah,
and
be bald.
Because honestly, a fully shaved bald head looks good on pretty much everybody. Like, there's not a ton. And once you're known as the bald guy, I know, the neighbor, he never had a stitch of hair the whole time that we've been here. Looks completely normal as the bald guy.
And that's him, yeah. He looks good. He's a good-looking guy. It's just, I don't know. Like, the first time I shaved my head, I also, very pudgy, and I was getting a little gullet thing. I was like, it's not really vibing. But then, when I shaved my hair and then I shaped up my beard, I was like, I look like a porn star, dude.
Man, whoever told you to just
Right.
shove up
I
your
look
beard.
like a porn star. All I need is the tool that goes with it, and I'd be ready to go. But
I think the funniest thing in here is there's a fight between the guys and the girls. Like the guys being all kinds of upset that the wife demanded that he get a vasectomy. Like, I'm sorry, but it is not that crazy of a procedure.
Right.
Like, I had pain afterwards, but that's because I was laying on a bed that was super low. So every time, like, I was getting up and down, and I didn't realize it at the time. I should have just sat out in my fucking recliner and not spent so much like effort getting up and down. But I laid in the bed, and anytime I
are
had
you doing squats while you got your damn
yeah, dude, it was dumb.
nut surgery?
But like my buddy got it done right at his kid's birthday. And like he just kept shoving a thing of peas down his pants. And I was like, what the fuck are you like, did you just get a vasectomy? He's like, yeah, I got it yesterday. But he was just drinking beer and hanging out at the party, like no problem at all.
Versus, cancer, higher depression and shit like that, and women who take birth control.
Well, and if you're done having kids, like it's a decision that you make when you're done having kids. And if it takes, an hour to go into the doctor, get it done, and then you rest for a couple
Because a
days.
hysterectomy is a lot scarier than just bloop,
Yeah.
it'll heal.
I don't get it, but then like the women are all, and rightfully so, there's a lot of things that come with women having to take birth control or do IUDs or, get their tubes tied. Like there is a lot more to that. So if the guy can do it, it shouldn't be a thing. But like all these guys in here are just like kind of shitty of her to force you to get one.
If they were like, yeah, and we can extend it while they're down there, everybody would have a vasectomy.
Before I met my wife, I thought about getting one just because I didn't think I was going to have kids. So like I was fine with it.
Well, good on you for not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the world would not be as bright of a place without my daughter. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, if you're a 19-year-old guy right now and you've made the decision you're never going to have kids, don't get a vasectomy. Yeah. Wear a condom.
Yeah. No, and it's not a young person's decision to make. Like you might meet somebody and you might change your mind on having kids. And it's not to say that, people without kids shouldn't have kids. Like,
Right.
no, it's a choice. But if you meet the right person, you might change your mind and be like, yeah, I want to have a
Fuck,
kid.
I want to have kids with this person. Yeah.
Which it is technically reversible. I don't know how the success rate is on that, but yeah, if you're done having kids, snip, snip. No big
To
deal.
this day, I'll be looking at my wife like, I'll put a baby in you right now, girl. I'll do it. I ain't having another kid. Fuck that. All right, guys. This has been an episode of Two Daddies Judging Baddies. Remember, if you enjoyed the episode, check out that Patreon. We love you so much, and we will see you next time.
Oh, you forgot to tell them you're starting a new YouTube
Oh, yeah.
channel.
Yeah. Okay. YouTube listeners. Oh, God. I hope they probably already clicked off now.
Yeah, probably.
I'll tell them next episode.
Well, so we're going to put all the episodes onto new YouTube that's separate from Mike and Dylan Hate Drama. We're going to go ahead and split those up.
It'll be on the Two Daddies Judging Baddies YouTube. We'll let you guys know when that is live. We love you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.
Later.